Hey, my name's Ash, and this week I'm going to learn how to code. Let's go. Hey, my name's Ash, and as you heard in the intro, this week I'm learning how to code. Now, this skill is a bit different than my other skills in the sense that I've tried to learn how to code before. This isn't my first rodeo. I've tried in middle school, in high school. I've even done a course on it, more on that later, but I never really got anywhere. I lacked the ambition, drive, and the kind of motivation or direction to continue forward, and I learned basic programming structures. I learned the if kind of statement, command, whatever, loops, dummy proofing, but that's about it. And every time I would try to take it again, I would stop at around that point. I've just been running circles in what could be called the ultimate skill that you can teach yourself. That stops now. I've always wanted to learn, and now I have the ambition, the drive, and the direction in where I want to go, and I won't give up this time. So welcome to my coding journey. So in terms of my ultimate goal for coding, I do have a big goal in mind. I have a platform that I want to release into the world, but that platform requires full stack knowledge, front-end and back-end programming, which at this point, since I've only mastered up to loops and not much more than hello world in general, that's going to be a long time until I get there. But I'm patient and ready to pursue. I will also reveal what this platform is in time, not right now. So it's important to have a short-term goal as well. And what I've decided to do is I've decided to work on a project a week. A coding, it can be a beginner project in the beginning, slowly ramping up in difficulty, and just tackling one kind of unique project each week and going from there, while also working on my platform in the meantime. In terms of my past advantages, as I said before, I've learned how to code. I've attempted to learn how to code. I've taken a grade 9 course where we used the pseudo language Turing, which is a language used for students to learn basic programming structures, not an actual language used in the professional world. And I've also tried to learn Python multiple times on multiple occasions throughout my life. In middle school, when I saw my older cousins going to university and going for computer science, and that really motivated me to try and start. Didn't get too far. I did about, again, as I mentioned earlier, I got up to loops and basic dummy proofing and never really continued from there. And same in high school, where I would actually relearn what I had learned before, again, never progressing past that point. So from these experiences, I know basic kind of programming principles and structures, but not much more than that. I'm going to change that fact on my programming journey. In terms of the programming or coding starting course, in all honesty, I have already tried a couple months ago, before I started this whole series, to learn programming through guided methods as I've done in the past. The specific one that I chose was the channel Programming with Mosh. I took up on his Python's beginner course. And there, it's a great course. It's very comprehensive, and looking at the YouTube chapters, you can see it covers a lot and puts you in a good place to be after you complete the tutorial. I, however, personally, lasted only 2 20-minute sessions doing that course before I quit it, and for the next 2 to 3 months just avoided programming or anything to do with coding as a whole. Very bad, I know, but it is due to my negative experiences with learning from a tutorial-based method from the past, and so I wanted to change that for this time, when I take it seriously as one of the skills I'm learning on my channel. What I decided upon was the project-based approach. And with the project-based approach, what I plan to do is, instead of doing a guided method where you follow a tutorial and then learn more and more as you go, with that kind of tutorial with different tutorials, I'm going to be taking on one kind of big project a week. One that builds up to the platform that, again, I will tell you guys about later. One that builds up to that. And the second project would be a smaller kind of fun-sized project that I can build upon. Hopefully, even week by week, I can build upon that same project, or if I've completed it, just take another project that increases in difficulty week to week. So it progressively gets more difficult, and this way I'm able to learn only what's directly applicable and keeping it fun and engaging, instead of learning things that maybe I'm not so interested in and giving up, as I did earlier with the guided learning method. I may even take smaller coding projects if I'm finished earlier during the week, just to continue programming through the week, but we'll see as time goes. I don't assume that'll happen until after a month or so. However, in terms of coding as a whole, for my skill, for my YouTube channel, this will require much more time and effort than playing something like the ukulele does. While I can get away with an hour a day for the ukulele, with programming, you don't get too much accomplished if you only learn an hour a day. Not saying you can't, but the rate of progress won't be satisfactory for me to complete whatever I want to in a year. So I'm calling this a majority skill. Well, on the flip side, something like the ukulele would be a minority skill. More on what that concept means from me and my channel in the weeks to come. In terms of the equipment that I'm using, I will be using PyCharm as my IDE, and most likely switching to VS Code within the first month. But right now, since I've used PyCharm and the Programming with Mosh tutorial, I'm kind of used to that environment. I also plan on using GitHub to make whatever I'm using in programming open sourced and open to you guys, and hopefully maybe even get you guys to contribute or give me tips along the way. I am a beginner programmer after all. This way, you can directly see what I'm doing, contribute, and maybe even come learn with me. All in all, honestly, I just want to ensure that this time I don't give up. I want to ensure that I stick to it to the end, whatever the end means to me, program that platform, that more details to come that I've always wanted to, and create things along the way that you guys can contribute to, and keep it open sourced, and hopefully even motivate some of you to take up programming and coding in your free time. It is probably in this day and age one of the best kind of skills to have for a side hustle, or to be work ready, to change careers to. It's never a bad thing to know how to code. And that's week 0. I hope you'll join me on this coding journey and come watch me learn how to code. But for now, take it easy and thank you for watching. I'll see you in week 1.